We're here at Glasgow FrightFest 2025, and I am joined by Stephon Stewart, the writer and director of Psyche, our opening night film. Stephon, what was it like to watch your film open FrightFest last night?
It was a great venue. It was a great theater. The FrightFest family was very welcoming, open arms. I think every seat in the house was just about filled. Everybody was engaged, and it's a very polarizing movie. So it's literally, you're going to go on one side of the coin or the other side of the coin. If you want to take a deep dive into the Psyche universe, the Psyche world, you're going to just let go of your mind and escape into the rabbit hole of ultimately consciousness. That's ultimately the end game of what the movie's about.
Amazing. Well, speaking of what the movie's about, what is one message you would like audiences to take away from Psyche?
So one of the more interesting questions I've had in my entire life is, what is the meaning of life?
That's a big question.
Especially currently with artificial intelligence. And Psyche talks about that message throughout the entire movie. With the two characters that are in the movie, it's just a girl and a computer for the entire duration of it. And I asked people to ask themselves, if you were the last person on Earth with a computer, what would you do?
That is a very interesting question. Now, tell me a little bit about where the idea for this film came from. How did you come up with this?
So myself, what's kept me alive and given me meaning in life are interesting questions, kind of an investigator in that sense, I guess you can say. And one of the more paradoxical questions, in my opinion, is what is the meaning of life for humanity, for our place on Earth as a species? And it started there, and then it's been the rest is kind of history from that point.
So you're really choosing easy questions to answer.
Well, we're only here more than likely once.
Yes.
So I live by the motto, think hard, not easy. I think it's good to stretch the mind. It's the whole use it or lose it metaphor, right?
Yeah.
And it's good to just think about these deep questions that we don't really get to have a conversation with day in and day out because we get caught up in life, the matrix of life, the goods and services world that we live in. And I think it's great to look back and have this introspective perspective on ourselves because ultimately artificial intelligence is just a mirror to ourselves.
That is a really interesting idea. Now, tell me about production. Did you face any surprising challenges or maybe something funny that happened on set? Will you tell me a little bit about what production was?
We were shooting on top of this mountain called Dante's Inferno. And it was first shot of the day. It was probably 20 degrees. And I would lay on the ground with her and I would read the lines of the computer.
Right.
Because she's got to react off
Right.
something, right? And, we're all bundled up and we're all warm, the camera guys and me, but she is fairly exposed. And the ground was like ice.
No.
And let's put it this way, it's a time in the moment in the movie where she has to be the most vulnerable. And she got there.
Wow.
And in that moment, I felt her just take that next step as an actor, as a performer. And you felt something special really happening there. And just that intimate working relationship I had with her for that 14 to 16 day stretch and just seeing her evolution as a person, because I do think the role, I don't want to speak for her, but I do think the role somewhat changed her.
Wow. Yeah. And just to clarify for our non-US audience, 20 degrees Fahrenheit is very cold. 20 degrees Celsius, not so much. Now, what is next for you and for Psyche?
It's a fantastic question. So Psyche's been in my life for about 6 years.
Wow. That's a long
So for me personally, I've lost a mother during this process. One of our producers lost a father, a grandmother. And Psyche's really about time. Like, what do we do with time? We only have such a small sliver in space and time. Like this moment right now. We're never going to have it ever again till the day, our end of days.
Yeah.
So when you're always in that mindset of time and you want to just be keenly aware of what you want to do and how you want to do it. But for me right now, it's getting this film into the right distributors' hands because I do think we're at an interesting time in life with our relationship with artificial intelligence. And I don't think a movie's done a great job of really dealing with artificial intelligence in a way where it can be connected to the world of today.
Right.
I mean, movies like Ex Machina and Blade Runner touch on it, but there's kind of a cheat there. There's still a human.
Right.
We're full AI.
Yes. Yeah.
Because AI is a tool.
Yeah.
It's something we carry with us, the weight of that. And I would love just to continue to do festivals, conversations. I mean, the movie touches on suicide, existential crises, and it's a time in life where people are just going through this existential crisis, especially the younger generation. And where do they turn?
Yeah.
And I always felt like an artist, besides like a philosopher or a theorist or a scientist, had a higher responsibility, kind of what Da Vinci did, and bring something interesting to the audiences now. A big motivational factor for this is the movie Stalker with Andrew Tarkovsky, searching for the meaning of life, because I just think that's on the top of our subconscious throughout. But bringing it back, I just would love to find a great distributor and just give this film the theatrical experience it deserves, because it was shot for the theater, and see what happens from there. And there's scripts, there's books after this, but right now, after all this time, you do your job as a director, writer, but now as a producer, and you got to find the right home for Psyche.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Stephon. This is honestly a very inspiring conversation, and just like the film, also very inspiring. So thank you so much, and congratulations.
Thank you.